Scene script. Ever wondered what the top mild inconveniences in Meriden, Connecticut are? Let's start with the hobos who have a peculiar fascination with cleaning car glasses. Picture this. You're at a stoplight minding your own business when suddenly a hobo approaches. He takes one look at your car's windshield and without asking begins to scrub it down. Now you might think this is a kind gesture, but wait until you see the end result. Your once clear windshield is now smeared with streaks of dirt and grime, making it even harder to see out of than before. And the cherry on top? The hobo then demands an unreasonable amount of money for his so-called service. But don't worry, the locals have come up with a unique and rather humorous preventive measure. When a hobo approaches, they don a makeshift glove of 5 individual 16-ounce plastic water bottles at the end of their fingers. Then they shake their hand vigorously at the hobo while reciting the Charles in Charge theme song. It's a sight that's as amusing as it is effective. So next time you're in Meriden and a hobo approaches your car, you know the drill. Arm yourself with your water bottle fingers and get ready to belt out that theme song. It's a surefire way to ward off the glass-cleaning hobos and keep your windshield clean. Next up on our list are the new residents of Meriden, the Japanese hornets. Now before you start panicking, let me assure you, these hornets are not your typical stinging nightmares. Quite the contrary, they've yet to lift a stinger against anyone. But don't let that fool you into thinking they're not making their presence felt. Everyone knows that hornets are social insects, but who knew they'd be so sociable as to learn English? And not just any English, mind you. They've picked up the Queen's English faster than a British nanny in a spelling bee contest. Now, you might wonder what these erudite insects use their newfound linguistic skills for. Well, it's not to ask for sugar, I can tell you that. These hornets, they've taken it upon themselves to become the unsolicited life coaches of Meriden. They buzz around, landing on people's shoulders, whispering words of wisdom into their ears. They criticize the locals for their work ethic, saying things like, "You're working too hard, mate, take a breather," or "Balance is the key, love, spend some time with the family." It's a curious scenario, to say the least. One moment you're mowing the lawn, the next you're getting life advice from a hornet. It's like having a tiny, buzzing British motivational speaker following you around all day. Never thought you'd get life advice from a hornet, did you? Now, let's move on to our furry friends who have a knack for impersonation. Imagine this, a herd of squirrels scampering about, each one as ordinary as the next. But wait. Suddenly they begin to group up, their tiny bodies merging together in a stunning spectacle of rodent teamwork. What could be their objective? Believe it or not, these squirrels are trying to pull off a bear impersonation. Yes, you heard it right, a bear. Their audacious goal is to enter the local mall, a place strictly meant for humans and at times robot guards. The sight of these Voltron-style squirrels attempting to deceive the mall's robotic security with their furry masquerade is a sight to behold. But alas, our furry thespians' performance is short-lived. The robot guards, unswayed by their dramatic efforts, promptly escort them out of the mall. Who knew squirrels had such dramatic aspirations? If you've ever confused booming sounds with out-of-season fireworks, you've probably encountered the loud rabbits. Yes, you heard it right, loud rabbits, a distinctive feature of Meriden, Connecticut. These creatures have a peculiar way of expressing their love. Instead of the usual soft thumps or gentle squeaks you'd expect from a rabbit, these furry friends prefer a more explosive approach. Their mating call is a booming sound, loud enough to be mistaken for fireworks. And this isn't a once-in-a-blue-moon kind of thing. No, these rabbits are romantics, expressing their love loudly and proudly 9 months out of the year. This unique serenade can be heard for up to 50 miles, leaving many a resident wondering who's setting off fireworks at such odd times. But here's the kicker. The Meriden police often receive complaints about these phantom fireworks. Imagine their surprise when they discover the culprits are not rebellious teens with a penchant for pyrotechnics, but rather these amorous rabbits. But fear not, the city has a rather ingenious solution to this booming problem. The loud rabbits are discreetly collected and relocated to neighboring Wallingford. And the best part? The rabbits are none the wiser. One can only imagine the surprise of Wallingford residents as the night sky remains dark, yet the sound of fireworks fills the air. And that, folks, is the explosive tale of the loud rabbits. Finally, we have the star of our show, the walking trees. Now you might be thinking trees can't walk, but in Meriden, Connecticut, they do more than just walk. These friendly mobile trees have a peculiar habit of running up to vehicles on the road in the wee hours of the night. Imagine this. You're driving away from a bar or restaurant between 10 in the evening and 3:45 in the morning, and suddenly, a tree sprints up to your vehicle. There's a slight bump, a rustle of leaves, and before you know it, your car is being gently dragged to the side of the road by a towering tree. But the fun doesn't stop there. The magic of the walking trees seems to have a temporary effect on the drivers. They find themselves a tad disoriented, struggling with conversation, and even having a bit of difficulty walking straight. But don't worry, this spell wears off after a little while, leaving you with a hilarious tale to tell your friends the next day. So if you ever find yourself in Meriden late at night and encounter a walking tree, don't panic. Just sit back, relax, and let the magic pass. Remember, if you ever encounter a walking tree, just sit back, relax, and let the magic pass.